All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarasun said he kicked back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. You already know what it is, family. We got that fire today. We're going to be talking about the sacred symbols the ancient Egyptians used to ward off evil. You got something you need to get rid of. We're going to hook you. We got the hook up for you, family. Stay tuned. Before we get started, I want y'all to get over there to the general Patreon. We got that fire dropping tonight. We want you in the house. We're going to show you how the bloodline of Cleopatra became a foundation for modern day Christianity. Gonna blow your mind. Over 500 exclusive live streams. Make sure you get over there. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Seti products, t-shirts, hoodies, African comedic jewelry, DVDs. We got that for your family. You can also become a member of my YouTube page. All you have to do is just go to the home page and you'll see a drop down, show you all the memberships, get access to some of them exclusive videos. You already know what's up. And make sure you like the video, family. Like the video, get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it, share it with your family and friends, comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because you will get banned. And so, yeah, family, we talking about it because, we know in these days, and even in these times right now, you talking about the end of the year, and a lot of people don't know that in the end of the year, especially when you get in the fall, when you get past that fall equinox, the fall of the sun. And so the sun is the great hero, you see, of African people, black people. And so when the king is no longer on the throne, which he is in the throne, but we in the northern hemisphere, you see, the king is in the southern hemisphere at this time. And so when you're in the northern hemisphere, the king is not on his throne. And so when the king is not on his throne, a lot of shadows, a lot of negative energy will come out. You see, is that it's cold, and with the cold come a lot of demonic entities. I'm just gonna be real with you. Okay, so you have to be careful. And so we had to let people know that we own our square, and many times just the presentation of these symbols is gonna let the adversary know that you got consciousness first and foremost. So when they see the symbols alone, they're gonna already know the consciousness is there, and that alone can repel. But you got to be 100. You can't be no fabricated nigga neither. Walking around, some of y'all niggas ain't nothing but t-shirt and necklace niggas. You ain't got no goddamn consciousness along with it. A lot of y'all niggas dress up for you dress up for the show, nigga, but you know what I'm saying? Can't get the show, you can't take the show on the road. You see what I'm saying? Just dressing up, so you got to have the consciousness and the will and the spirit to infuse and embody and empower the symbol. You see, because it's your energy that's going to empower the symbol. You see, but it is, it's an ancient symbol, a lot of these symbols, and most definitely if our family, went down in the tombs, and they carved them all over the temples and all over and in their own homes, they would keep these symbols with them at all times, at all times. And so let's deal with some of these sacred symbols. Now, first and foremost is the eye of Heru. We went over that eye yesterday. I didn't even get it in here, but I will get it in here. I got everything else but that. Yeah, got everything else, but I'm gonna pop it right on in there. You see, which is the eye of Heru, the eye of Ra. You see, which is solar frequency. You see, and then even you can see that this even carried off into the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal stories, because when you start talking about the vampire, you see, when you get to talking, it's always that sun. It lets you know what time it is. And so you got to know what team you on, because a lot of time motherfuckers get fucked up and they get to using symbols that not of their origin. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know whether this is a solar frequency, And a lot of y'all niggas go get the, y'all go put a dead white man on a cross and shit, put him on your neck, and wonder why you end up right along with his ass. You both you're on a cross, some goddamn nailed to a cross. So you can't goddamn, you know what I'm saying? You got to know these symbols and you got to know what they mean. You got to know if you got any ancestral connection. You understand to these symbols. You know, your ancestors then, trial and error. You feel what I'm saying? This ain't no just, if the Egyptians built pyramids, they know what the hell, what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that eye up in there. They know what time it is. I think that's it right there. Yeah, there you go. So most definitely, in any which way you can, you want to get you one of them. You want to get you one of them Ujit eyes. You see, sometimes they come two, but most definitely that let them know that the eye of God is on their ass. Period. First and foremost, the eye of God is upon you. You see, it's symbolic of the third eye too, which is along with that they know you in power. That alone is going render, most adversaries helpless to be able to, form any defense against you. To form any defense against you. I didn't practice it now over 30 years. You see what I'm saying? And when they see them symbols, they already know what time it is. The fact that you didn't oriented your spirituality towards the Nile, in Africa in general, not just the Nile, but African, but primarily for me, that's my foundation, the Nile. You feel me? That's the home base. You feel me? For all, spirituality that's worthy of on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Come up out of it. It's just truth. And, that's not to shoot nothing down because there is a mother. That's it. It ain't nothing wrong with saying that your mother come before you. And that's just what it is. And when you got a problem with acknowledging sacred chronology, that's on you. In the beginning, nigga. That's what it said. In the beginning. Was the womb. Was the womb. Before that, what could it be? You understand what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So most definitely having one of these eyes is and down through the through the years, it has been picked up on by many other cultures like the Arabic, the Jewish. They got the Hamza, and they all got some form of the eye, and it's to repulse the evil eye. But more so than not, it lets you know that the eye of God is upon you. Okay, so bear witness. You know what I'm saying? That's letting them know that you are divinely protected. And then the other one is now number two is the shen. Now the shen, I'm gonna put this up here. Is really, let me get that one out. The shen is like is almost like the ankh without the bottom stem. Okay, it's like the ankh without the bottom stem. Okay, so it still means eternity. It means eternity, and it's almost it's a shorter version of the cartouche. When you talk about the cartouche, and that's where you see the names of the royals or be inscribed into the it'll be the names of the pharaoh will be inscribed inside the cartouche. You see, so it's a shorter form of the cartouche, and it means eternity. That which is inscribed inside of it is eternity, and so it's also a solar amulet. And all the royals, all the pharaohs were were buried with these symbols. And now this shen is let me get it in there. Let me get that information in there. Is a loop rope symbol representing eternal protection. You see, so that's eternal, but the word shen means encircle, and the symbol is used to guard names, objects, and people. So a lot of times you get like when you get your name carved in the cartouche, or you ain't got to, you can take, just like on a piece of paper. I used to print them out. You can just print them out. You feel me? And with the blank in there, and Man, I used to you can draw your name inside of it. You see, put it on your altar, and put it on your altar, put it somewhere, or just go ahead and get you one made. Get you one made and get your name inside of it. But it is for eternal protection. And so you can get the shen, and you can get the shen, and most definitely, it's an empower. You see it all over the ancient the Nile Valley, period. And so number three is the ankh, which is probably the most one of the most popular symbols in all of ancient Egypt. You see, is the ankh. And so you got many symbols there. But the greatest symbol it is the key of life, and the key of life is man, woman, and child. You see, that is life. That unlocks the door of eternity. That is the key of life. You can't have no life without any of those three divine elements. You see, man, woman, and child. So you see the arm or the top portion represent the womb, and then you have the two stems, left and right, representing male and female, and as far as boy and girl, as far as giving birth, and then you have the phallus at the bottom. You see, which is the key of life. You don't have no life without that. Okay, that is the key. And so, most definitely, it is all one of the oldest crosses that you could speak of, and the cross that what many people think is the Christian cross is also Kemetic. It's also, you see the cross also on the walls of ancient Egypt. So it represents the cardinal points. It represents the cardinal points also. And so north, south, east, west. You see, it represents the cardinal points and the divinity therein. Okay, the divinity therein. So it is one of the most ancient forms of the cross, and most definitely brings terror to any demonic entity. You see what I'm saying? So most definitely, I know most people, that's the first thing they get is the ankh. You see, now the fourth is the Khepri, okay, which is what they call the scarab beetle. Okay, what they call the scarab beetle. I mean, there it is right here. Now, this is actually the one that was in the tomb with Tutankhamun, Tut Ankh Amen. You see, and so yeah, and we're gonna talk about because you see a lot of them stones. You can see that lapses in there right there, and there's some other stones we're gonna talk about later on that was held very sacred with the ancient Egyptians. You see, which is our people, and we didn't went in there and we listen to me when I tell you this, family. You see, you give honor to all of our peoples, in our civilization. But when you looking at, you got to look at the classical. You got classical work. Nah, you got classical work above and beyond, all others. Nothing wrong with saying that neither. Classical. You see what I'm saying? That set the standard. When you talking about the standard, you talking about the top 3,000 years, actually even longer than that. You see? So when you didn't did it, when one culture didn't did it that long, continuously, you see, then you have to look at what was they applying that that gave them the ability to to last over 3,000 years in power like that. Well, most other people, man, can't even last a couple 100 years. Can't even get a good 100 years in. You see, and here it is, they lasted dynastically 3,000 years. And then you could go into Nubia, earlier Nubia, and you can damn near tack another 1,000 years on that. You can almost tack another 1,000 years on that. So you talking about 4,000 years dynastically, because they already proved that the Pharaoh ship was already in Nubia almost 800 to 1,000 years before it even entered into Egypt. So that's your classical civilization that that you pull from. And so you got the Khepri, and you'll see the Khepri if you see the scarab beetle in Egypt in a lot of places, they be pushing that dung, which is a ball, and they put their eggs down in the dung, and they cow dung, and they roll it until it become a ball. So the ancient Egyptians, they saw the Khepri is spiritually in the sky, pushing the sun, through the sky, just like he pushed the dung beetle, the dung ball, that they see. You'll see the little scabs on the ground, on the ground, and pushing the little dung beetle. So they saw the Khepri as spiritually pushing the sun through the sky. So it is a solar a solar symbol. Mostly all these symbols, a lot of them are connected to the sun. So that just show you that we are solar people, and that's where our energy comes from. So that right there let you know, every time you see the sun, it letting you know, tap into the solar, because that's going to empower you and your symbols. You see, that's going to empower you. They letting you know, tap in. Okay, and when you do that, you already know the vampire gonna melt. the va- the vampire gonna melt. So most definitely, and tap into that solar. And so next up is the knot of Isis. And so right here, this is the knot of Isis. If you Now, for a lot of people, you got to be probably into the studies, really, to tap into that. You got to really be into the study. Let me get down here. Where is that? Here you go. Yeah, so that right there is the knot of Isis. It almost look like an ankh to a certain extent, but the two stems in the center, it look like they droop down. They droop down. And so, but when we talk about what is the knot of Isis, let's tap off into that. Mm. It says it is associated with Isis. The Tajet symbol stood for protection, healing, and welfare. Many people wore it with the ankh or as a standalone amulet to invoke Isis's safeguarding influence. You see, so that symbol right there is connected to the Holy Mother Aset. You see, so you got to have that. You got to have that protection. You see what I'm saying? Because nothing can go against that. Nothing can go against that. And so you most definitely want to have the holy cosmic black mother of creation on your side. You ain't got that. You ain't got no god. You ain't got nothing. You see, you ain't got nothing. The womb. When you look out there in the cosmic melanin, that's the womb of creation. The black hole, that's the womb of creation. So you most definitely got to tap in. That's why when you see Newt and you see all the, the cosmos is inside of her. You see all the stars, all the constellations. And so you most definitely got to tap into that. Now there are other, which a lot of people don't know, protective deity symbols. Now also you got Bess. Let me see. You got Bess too. Let me tap in. I didn't have my comments up. Black Power family. Yeah, you get Bess right here. Now, Bess is also a divine symbol. That's right. That's right. You see, Bess is also a divine symbol, and he put he was he ward off a lot of evil spirits. So just having Bess around, having an image of Bess in the house. That's why you see Bess is all over the world. Bess is one of the most global deities, recognizable. Damn near any culture that you go in, you will see a symbol of Bess one way or another. I can show you that. So he's one of the most global, recognizable deities because he was known for many, many things, and really is a goddess. He's symbolic of all the energies, you know, and so it's really so just a lot of people can't understand that, can't understand that. But anyway, uh and also Taway Rat. Okay, Taway Rat. The hippopotamus goddess is also yeah. You see Bess all the time. Nah, I know. It's crazy. You can see Bess in damn near every culture. You know what I'm saying? He said, what about Rod daughter with the lioness head Baset? Baset, what you know what? Any of the deities, you know what I'm saying, symbolically gonna ward off evil. You know, if you empower any of the gods and goddesses, really. You see what I'm saying? But you know that you got some that fall into different roles. Any deity, really. You see what I'm saying? Will do, gonna give you, defense against any negative energy. Okay, so really, it's really, empowering any aspect of the spiritual system is going to empower you. But they had those that, that was particularly their job. You know what I'm saying? Because ISIS and Neptus and they protected you in the underworld. They protected the spirits. You know what I'm saying? Even as they walked through the underworld to make sure that they, was, made that they got into the netherworld. You see, so that's why when you see look on the sarcophagus, you see especially a Tutankhamun, you will see that they wings, would touch. They on the four corners of the sarcophagus, and you will see that they wings touch, and it's like a defense barrier and mechanism of the soul. You see, so there, so you even Neptus, and what was the cell cat and Hathor, you most definitely Hathor. You already know because Hathor and Isis in many ways they interchangeable. You see what I'm saying? They interchangeable. Hathor and Isis in many ways they unique in a few instances, but they're also very similar. Hathor, and that's why you see I said a lot of times she had the cow horns on her head with the sun dish there. You see, so a lot of time they combine. So but at the end of the day, it's on you. You say, say, Seti, do you get married? You know what? I that's not my particular forte. You know what I'm saying? I can, I'm not. That's not my particular forte. Just say I'm a warrior. You know what I'm saying? I do certain things, and other things. It's other family out there that's doing that, and I'm quite sure that you can, you can look and find somebody, in the culture that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, keep me on post, and I'll try to. And I know a few people. I'll drop you a line. You feel me? Just hit me up at General Seti at Yahoo, and I'll drop you. A few. I'll drop you a line on some people that might could do that for you. You feel what I'm saying? I'll do that. Just hit me up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway, family, we just getting started today. We just getting started today. Get your symbols, but empower them through your consciousness and your walk. You got to walk. You can't just talk. You got to walk. And if your spirit is strong and you embodying, the ancestors and righteousness, and you tapping into the cosmos, you most definitely, along with your symbols, you're gonna be protected. We're gonna talk about some other things that can help you along the way. Stay with me. This is the general. That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. But anyway, family, we got some more videos and things that's gonna help you today. Stay tuned. Get over there to Patreon. Support the general, kingseti.com, and I'll be right black. Arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom. Black power.